MacVoices is sponsored by Smile, the makers of world-class software like PDF Pen. Find out about all their great utilities at smilesoftware.com. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're in the BackBlaze booth talking to Yev about what BackBlaze is doing at NAB. Yev, good to see you. Good
to see you too, Chuck. So we're here with B2 Cloud Storage. It's the second product offering from BackBlaze. Most people know us for our online backup services for Macs and PCs. I'm sure your audience is familiar with it. If they're not, they should totally be.
Yeah, and that's why I was a little surprised to see that you're at NAB.
Yeah, so for NAB, we're partnering with a lot of MAM and DAM companies, media asset management and digital asset management companies, and we're acting as the back end for their media repositories. So a lot of people come to NAB to figure out how to manipulate their data or where to store their data. Because this is the National Association of Broadcasters, the data that they're working with is kind of massive. And because one thing that BackBlaze knows really well is storage and cloud storage, we figured we would have a good opportunity to kind of make a splash and provide inexpensive cloud storage offerings. So it's just $5 a terabyte, which is really resonating with a lot of folks here, and it's a penny per gigabyte to download. So they're not worried if they have a complete failure and need to get everything down. It's also inexpensive. It's about a quarter the cost of S3.
Okay, so $5 a terabyte per year.
That's per month.
Oh, per month, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, per month. Yes. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So and how much to download?
Just a penny per gigabyte to download. So even if you have a catastrophic failure, it doesn't break the bank to get everything back. And what we found is a lot of folks that have digital teams abroad, or folks that are doing video shoots kind of in the field, they'll be able to upload their data to us relatively quickly, and the folks in their home base using these media asset management companies can actually start manipulating the data before they get the raw file. So it's pretty cool.
It is, and my first inclination was, gee, I'm not sure that I want all that stuff stored in the cloud because it's moving back and forth. But on the other hand, you're right, it makes it accessible to everyone, and at those kind of prices, gee.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so what we found is that it really is kind of a winning use case for a lot of folks here. A lot of what they've struggled with in the past is kind of shuttling data back and forth with folks. So we announced a couple weeks ago that our Fireball has left beta, which is a 70 terabyte device that you can ship to us with all your data on it. And that kind of seeds your cloud storage. So if you have a lot of data that's in a backlog and you also want to get it into the cloud, a lot of folks have been using LTO and they're looking for kind of a more distributed or a more accessible way to store their data. So they're sending us their Fireballs. We're plugging them in directly in our data center, getting the data quickly into their accounts, and so they're up and running really quickly. And then they just send us the additional files as they're getting created. It's really cool.
Now that you kind of beat me to it because that was that was the next question. Is a lot of us at the home and small business level think of not concerns, but one of the considerations. There's a good word. Considerations is the upload. You know that we're using up a lot of bandwidth. When you're starting to talk, HD video, 4K video, or more K video, you're talking about a lot of upstream. And so the idea of a Fireball being able to take this packet full, ship it to you, get it online, that really appeals.
Yeah, I mean, there was an old adage, never underestimate the bandwidth of a semi-truck on the highway, right? It's a similar theory. And we had a case study that we have in our booth here that we're giving out for a company called WonderView, and they make mixed reality digital media. So like if you're talking about large files, those guys have it in droves because they're doing like AR and VR type of like huge video files, like multiple gigs worth. I'm assuming, I think they shoot in 4K as well. So just huge assets. They sent it to us in a Fireball and they were able to get up and running really quickly.
That's so. Is there a charge to get? I mean, obviously it's the storage, but do I have a charge for you to load the Fireball data into my account?
Yeah, there's a fee associated with it, but what we found is that fee is more than reasonable for folks to ship us the drive. So much so that we have a lot of companies that are actually going round trip with us. So they have so much data, in fact, that we send them a Fireball, they fill it up, send it back to us, we put it in the cloud. We send them back the Fireball, they fill it up, they bring it back to us. And so it goes back and forth like this a couple times until they get their hundreds of terabytes up to us. And then after that, then they switch over and just do the incrementals on their own with the bandwidth that they have.
Now how about flipping it around on the other end. If I have a catastrophic failure
Yep.
and I need to have a firewall loaded and sent to me, is that an option?
So it may be soon. We have a snapshot that is available. It's a snapshot restore program. So a snapshot is a moment in time where you can take a snapshot of the data that you have available in B2. You can put that on a USB restore, similar to BackBlaze, the restore method on the USB hard drives, and we'll ship that to you.
Okay.
But we know that rapid egress is also a pain point for some folks, and so we're looking at different ways of maybe offering the firewall as a egress point as well, not just ingress.
Well, that, again, from the smaller user market, that was one of the things that really appealed to me about BackBlaze is I can send you a driver, you send me a driver, whatever, and I can get the data back quick.
Yes.
Because that's when, in that market, that's where the rubber meets the road. If I'm down, I need to get back up. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our MacVoices Facebook group and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices magazine, free on Flipboard. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us at patreon.com/MacVoices and join these folks who help keep MacVoices coming to you. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.